This is Tech Talk with the Westside Button Mashers. Also, again, we do have the Last Bad Day, aka LBD. Again, I am your host Thumper. My co-host Schluddy. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Snow Bunny Master, the goat at fighting games.
And the Last Bad Day. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, and last bad day here. Great to be back, and yeah, looking forward to the conversation tonight.
Yes, sir. Again, thank you for joining us again. And I think we're gonna have Exit coming probably in the middle of it. He's he gets lost in whatever he's doing, probably, you know, doing horror flicks, and then he comes back to doing whatever he needs to do. So he will be in the middle of a discussion. He'll pop in. So I guess there's a couple of things I want to start off with. And this is more so, I guess, like targeted towards projectiles. And I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion. We'll have an open discussion on it.
Sure.
Would you guys rather have projectiles clash like how they do most, I guess I would say, in other fighting games, or take the trades kind of like how it is in MK? How do you guys prefer?
Uh,
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
oh, you can go first.
I think for MK it should stay the way it is, just um, because the moves have different properties and different ways that the characters position,
Hmm.
right? And like I don't know enough about Street Fighter to know if it kind of reigns true for the entire cast, but my impression is that, like, the fireball animation, like your character is standing and they're standing still, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Whereas, like, with a lot of characters in MK, they might like low profile or something. There's low projectiles, right? Stuff like that. So I just don't know how that would work, right?
I feel what you're saying. That makes sense. Shuddy, did you want to go ahead on that?
Yeah, like what he was saying, it's just not gonna work in MK. I mean, I feel like the trading system is actually like decent. I mean, like, 'cause you're gonna have some projectiles that have like a slower rate of like travel time and everything like that. So, like, say you have a slowest projectile in the game versus fastest, and like a person like, okay, I'm use like Noob as an example with his Ghost Ball.
Hmm.
Say like I'm playing Casty, and Noob throws his Ghost Ball projectile. If if shit clashed, then like I can just do that shit on reaction every time. So
Right.
it just wouldn't work out, and that'd just be a useless move. And be like, why would you put that in the game? I mean, it's
Hmm.
already
Yeah.
useless as it is, but you know, but
That's
it's just
that's the slower ball, a slower projectile, right? That makes you like
yeah,
lose a bar.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. That I mean
It's
that
tough
makes
to
sense. That makes sense. Um, I'll shake it up just so it doesn't seem like I'm agreeing with you guys the whole time.
do.
Um, I actually kind of want to see how it would play out clashing. Um, just because I feel MK does have this thing where almost every single game's different. There's no legacy game in MK except for maybe from Deadly Alliance to Deception. Maybe that was like the closest thing, or like maybe even MK3 to 4. Maybe you could say those are the closest things besides the 3D thing, you know? Um but I think it'd be kind of interesting. I think it'd add some mind games. I mean, obviously, I don't I think where you were saying like some projectiles are low and some projectiles are high. I want to say obviously I want, those would probably trade, right? Because they'd miss each other. But obviously I want to say like, keep the highs where they clash, and if there's lows, make them clash. Um, and maybe you can like EX a mid project, or yeah, EX a mid, kind of like how you do with Reigns, but that can go through another or I guess subs that can go through another projectile. Like, what do you guys think of that? Is that a little
Are
much?
you saying like if every character had something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
No, I feel like
But you have to
like
build the bar. You're not gonna get, regenerated
yeah,
just like this one. but
Yeah.
like of course you have to build up to it.
I mean, that'd bring fairness, but it would take away from characters like Sub that have that special projectile, and it'd
Hmm.
bring something special to that character that he can only do.
Yeah.
You have characters like Rain that can throw up a little quantum rift that will parry any projectile. So
That makes
like
sense.
in the
And
current
you would
state
take
of the
away
game,
the
like,
specialness of like maybe Scud Shot. Is that what you're trying to say too?
yeah, that would take that away.
Okay, all right. I just kind of wanted to see like I just kind of want to see something different. I mean, I want to say like to what LBD was saying like it's kind of the staple of MK is just just trading projectiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of the zone wars of MK. Because you can't really do that in other fighting games. And I've noticed that even in Tekken, Tekken doesn't even have projectiles unless it's like I don't know, Devil Jin or Devil or even Akuma and some of
Right.
the DLC characters, right? And
Right.
so they even made it kind of like Street Fighter where, if you're doing a fireball, it's going to clash, you know.
Right. Right.
Um but yeah, I would like to see something different with that. Um
Yeah,
and then
I
I think
mean,
just EXing like the projectiles to make them mids and go through some of the or to make it clash with the low instead of since typically they're highs, then when you EX it, then it's gonna clash with the lows, something of that nature. I think it'd be kind of
Right.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's somewhat will. Oh, you can go ahead.
I just think that they would really need to like I guess they would need to balance the game from the ground up with that idea in mind because like or create characters with that idea in mind because like as it exists like there's just certain characters that come to mind for me that would just be so stupid like if you were ever in a zoning war with RoboCop because he can like just low auto nine so quickly on a recovery
Yes,
like you would never move like he would just
right.
sit full screen and he would just like do that forever and time you out
It makes
basically
sense.
so I mean, like, it would, yeah, they would have to make characters projectiles more akin to like a standard fireball, I guess, than having things like bullets that move really fast.
Hmm.
So,
I have a
yeah,
question. How do you feel about like more characters having like a projectile parry, like how Terminator and Rain and
Like
um,
lose like projectile thing,
yeah,
kind of
like
like the
yeah.
nunchuck.
I mean, yeah, that's a cool one because it just reflects it back. But you got characters that like just eat the whole projectile. I mean, yeah, Lose is really good though. That's a good
You
example.
have to really time that one.
Yeah, that's on reaction. You got to be skilled.
Like you think like every character should have that, or
Just like put more characters in the game that have that. Cause
mm,
I mean I feel like it would like somewhat serve a better purpose in a way. But like how projectiles are right now, you have some that leave you standing and some that knock you down.
right,
right?
But if there's like more characters in game, like say like you like do not like how Rain plays. If you have like say like Baraka that has a projectile parry move, then you'd be happy. But like give more variety in characters that have like that type of move. I mean, I feel like that'd be like somewhat of a good thing, but somewhat of a bad.
Mhm.
Like at least like balance it out. Like leave like if you get the read that they're gonna do it, like let you punish it with the projectile. Let the projectile be fast enough to do that.
right,
Right. I think it would be awesome if Baraka did have like some type of projectile parry. I think it would be, but I think it wouldn't work for someone like him because obviously you want to zone him out, and I don't think with something like that you'd be able to zone him out.
I mean,
I
yeah, I
mean,
mean, yeah.
maybe,
I mean, if you get the read, like how I was saying, like and that
right?
shit just is horrible on frames and everything. Where I
yeah,
could just like lean down, just eat the whole fucking projectile and get like a Kotal buff.
yeah.
That's an interesting parry though. I
Yeah,
do like Kotal's parry.
yeah, that's something only to Kotal, which is a good thing. I
I
mean,
think. Oh, sorry, I cut you
go
off.
ahead, go ahead.
I just think like that. And without going too far off topic or anything like that, I think that just in general, there like are certain kind of move archetypes more widely seen, like projectile parries for one, but also like regular parries that are actually useful, set up different kind of setup moves, that kind of stuff, right?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that like adding to the characters as they are in that way that you guys are talking about, like, did I just say a boot? Jesus.
A little bit.
Um,
It's all good.
oh my god. Um, um, anyways, um, like the way that like adding those things to characters, I think would make them scary. I think like if you couldn't zone out Baraka and he's sitting there throwing projectiles at you, and then you finally get in on him, and he hits you once, and he's got it in armor break or whatever, and you're gonna eat half your health. He sends you full screen, just keeps doing it, and you can't zone him. Like it
Yeah.
would really, I think it would really shove certain characters in a certain playstyle direction, if that makes sense. Like I think Baraka would become like this defensive tank kind of character if you had something like that, and other
Hmm.
characters you might see that too, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? Because I mean I
Right.
think as it is like. Um, a lot of the like while there are differences in how characters play in this game, they kind of all generally like do very similar things for the most part. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with the archetypes, because like I guess for instance, like with Lou, he's just pretty much you're easy to pick up, like you're well balanced, not exactly the master of none. He's your master of none, I guess. He can play pretty good up close. He has decent uh zoning, and then all of a sudden he's got a little bit of grappling too, because he's got that fucking really good command grab. Um, but I think like what Baraka that's something that wouldn't work with him. It'd be awesome to have. I think it like you said, he'd be a defensive tank, and I think he'd just be too OP, honestly. Like, as much as I would love that, but
Yeah.
even I, even I feel that that'd be a little much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would depend on what they kind of wanted to do, and I mean, for some of the weaker characters in the game, I mean, I think it'd be reasonable because it would probably just bring them up to what the top characters already like. In the sense that, like, I think one of the things that I've really noticed about what makes like the top tiers in this game top tier
Hmm.
is that they're for the most part good at every spot on the screen,
True.
right? Like,
Right.
and they're not kind of pigeonholed into one way of playing the game. Like you mentioned, Liu Kang. I mean, he's good all over the place, right? I mean,
Yeah.
same with like Cetron, obviously. She can do whatever she wants. Jackie, I mean, Jackie can leap in, or I mean, she can even zone you a little bit with the goo if she's got a life lead. Cabal,
Right. Yeah. She can.
sub, like the whole, yeah. Um,
The
I
50-50. Yeah.
yeah, Joker, like for the most part, has to kind of get close, but even he can do some of that with the bats pew pew and stuff. So,
Right.
uh, yeah,
He can have a little bit of a zoning variation, and then of course was it the Boeing that you use? That's a pretty good little tool to get in.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, he has that too, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
it helps a lot. And um, yeah, I mean, I think that when you look at the top tiers, obviously they have other things that are really good about them too. But
Hmm.
when you look at them, and it's just like, yeah, that fact that they're good everywhere, and then you look at the other characters in the game, and like they kind of, yeah, they have very specific ranges where they kind of run their game plan at, and
Right.
it's a lot. You have to work a lot harder to maintain those than if you're playing a top tier where you can kind of just like you're like, oh, I'm in this situation now. Okay, I have like all these things I can do here, and it's like it's no big deal really. So
Right. We
right,
got
so
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Shloody, did you want to chime in more on that one?
Nah.
For sure.
So,
Yeah, I just think I just hope they can I guess back to what the argument is always. It's just I just wish they kind of did the variation system just a little bit differently, maybe a few more slots, and I
Yes.
think, you know, we could have had some of those moves that would make the characters a little more. I guess, like what for Baraka, like he could actually, of course, he's a in-your-face
He'd be
character,
viable.
rush down, but it'd be just that much scarier, to have, um, I don't know, gutted and then the command grab and just I just miss like MK being crazy, I really do. Um, just all the characters just having crazy shit you're afraid of. You know what I mean? 'Cause I think that's what kind of makes it fun and you know doesn't keep it so like
So
lackluster. I guess
stale.
like the way it is now.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. And not to like put on my, you know, nostalgia glasses for a second or something, but like, in MKX at least, like, yeah, there were a lot of really stupid characters in that game that had a lot of really broke things, but like, you could play against somebody playing like a super bottom character, like say like a good Ferritor player, and then they hit you once and you lose like 60 to 70% of your life,
Oh yeah,
and you're like, oh my God, like what just happened, right? And and even those characters still had like
something to
some
them.
some jank to them. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. The next question or the next topic would be should we have more villains, I guess. More so like in the FGC and or like the NRS community. And I'm saying more so like it's for instance like a good example is Punk. I do like Punk. He's a pretty fun character, or person, of course. I think he does well at keeping in the games. I mean, I see that people do kind of like he kind of does say stuff like on Twitter and whatnot, but I think someone like him does kind of keep things fresh and like he stirs the pot. I think in a good way, he doesn't like outright call people out like on personal things or anything like that. But like I think stuff like that's fun. It keeps rivalries fresh and just things to look forward to whenever there's a major, even something online. I think it keeps people kind of like on the edge of their seat, like oh shit, like these dudes are really have beef now. What
right.
what, what do you guys think about that?
I think it'd be really good for the community. Well, it'd be good like in a streamer's eyes, like say like you're a person like not very good, and you'd like post said set between two people that are beefing. You'd get
Hmm.
the views that you need, and like it'd be like a money match, and you have people like I like personally I like will donate to like pots between like a money match and shit like that. So you'd have people doing that, and it's just good for the players too that are playing and like beefing or whatever because they come back for the money. Well,
Hmm.
it's
Right.
not like big money or anything, but like you're still playing for money and everything like that. And
Right.
some of that shit just helps you pay bills, even though like if you're working like a second job and shit like that. But what you're saying is like keeping like villains and shit like that, like how we had the perfect legend in fucking Sonic shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess
You
that's
know?
that's one good way. I mean, that's more so just rivalry. I want to say I don't even know who would be like the villain in that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, Sonic Fox just feels like it's already done deal. I've already beat you, 50 million times. How many more times until you learn your lesson, old man? No, I'm just kidding. But that's a SpongeBob reference. But like I don't know. I think someone like Punk. I think it's just it's refreshing. I think.
I can just
Um,
become a villain.
yeah, there you go. And I mean, you're already an edge lord, so I think that there's one there's one thing right there.
LBD, what do you feel?
Yeah, I think it's a kind of a tricky issue with the FGC because there's such a blurred line between uh, like actual professionals and like people who play the game a lot and are really good at it,
Right.
right? Whereas in other esports and stuff like that, you don't see that as much. Like there's a pretty big distinction, like League of Legends, for instance, right? Like if you're a pro, you're like playing in the league and it's televised and all that shit, right? Like whereas like by the nature of how FGC stuff works, especially with it being more grassroots, is that like anyone can kind of show up. So um, I think that it is exciting and fun to have those like heel personalities in like a professional sense.
Hmm.
I think where it can kind of get murky though is if like there are people who aren't necessarily professionals and they're just like being assholes to people in the community. Like I mean, I think at that point it can be tricky because it's like if this is your job and like it's what you do to support yourself, then fair enough. And like a lot of people are on kind of an equal playing field in terms of maybe how much time they want to spend on the game or how much they study it and stuff like that. But if you're
Hmm.
just like being an asshole to people that they work like their 40-hour a week job and they don't have time to put like 3,000 hours into the game a year or whatever, and you're just being a dick to them because you play the game more and neither of you are like actually making like a livable income off this, like I don't really agree with that personally. I
Right.
yeah, I think it honestly just keeps people away. And by the nature of these games already being one-on-one where like it's kind of intimidating as it is, it just kind of stops us from growing when people do stuff
Mm,
like that.
I get what you're
So
saying.
but yeah, but I mean, but people like Punk, where it's like his job, like and he's like one of the top players in the world. Like, yeah, I think that's different than like, your average player who might play on some exhibitions and stuff like that, just being a dickhead to people.
Right, right. And I guess on top of it, like what Schlotty said, he's more of like a content creator as well, or he's becoming more of a content creator as well, not just like just a competitive player. Exit, were you now that you're here, were you listening to any of the stuff that we were saying or no?
I'm assuming from the context clues I got, we're talking about villains in the FGC. That's
Yeah,
all I got.
so more so like would you like to see more villains or would like do you think there should be? What's
I
your
think
thoughts
for
on that?
like every other community, I think they all have their villains. You know what I mean? Like I think Street Fighter has their villains. Tekken. I'm pretty sure Tekken has villains and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But there's really no real legitimate villain in the NRS community if you really think about it. Um, some people might
Except
say, "Oh,
trolls
it's the
maybe.
yeah." Some people might say it's the Sikander, but I don't really consider him a villain. He's more of a vigilante or an anti-hero in my opinion. But like, there's no guy that we really fucking hate. Maybe Tweety, maybe when he like first started out and he was like telling Sonic Fox like pick a different character, and there's times where I've seen Tweety do some crazy shit and just kind of come off as an asshole. But fuck, do I love Tweety? I think Tweety's one of my favorites to watch. I
Wow.
like that shit. I do wish there was more villains. But again, there's just people that I don't know if they're like playing a character or they're actual pieces of shit. Like it's hard to tell some. No, like real talk is it's really difficult.
Right,
Well, most
right.
people that like make content and shit like that, they kind of put on a voice, like they kind of have their little YouTube or Twitch little voice when they're talking to people, and like they'll never really talk to anyone like that in real life. Um,
Right, right, right.
just like villains, you know what I mean? Just like who knows? What if this guy's hella cool and he's just playing the character really well? You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do want to see more villains. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go towards that route of being, the NRS villain, but then I'm like, I don't want to get no hate mail. You know what I mean? I'm like, God.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what's kind of hard. And I guess I'll let Unshaven since he's in the chat now. I'm assuming you have an idea what's going on in the in this topic right now.
Not 100% good, sir. I just came back to because I had my phone off for a little bit, so I lost track of the most recent topic.
Okay, you're good.
So,
So I was just asking, like, should we have more villains, like, in the FGC, or I mean, more so in the NRS community? I just like what Exit said. We really don't see a lot. I mean, like we know like Punk is like for sure. I want to say pretty much the entire FGC, but more so in the Street Fighter community.
yeah.
Would you like to see that?
Just see more people that are just kind of like a little like a likable villain in the community, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, sure, exactly.
Um, I don't know, man. I think it just has to come off naturally, depending on the character of the player. Like they shouldn't force it. So it's just um, however the person's personality is, the competitor is. Like it
Right.
just has to kind of it just I think it's best when it just kind of naturally flows out one
Happens.
direction or the other, whether they're a really nice guy type or if they're kind of a douche but they're really talented type of thing. So it's like
Right.
yeah, you know what I mean. So it could just be
Yeah.
you know just like in I would be fair to say it's just like in sports in general. Like in if for folks that follow they're into the NBA and things like that. Like there's a lot of great basketball players that are really douchey, but they're extremely talented and fun to watch.
So you can't
And
take
then
that
there's
away
some
from them.
But
Right.
yeah, exactly. You can't take that away from 'em. And then there's some they're like the fun villain you like to watch. So it's the villain you love to hate.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so and then at the same time there's some players out there that are really really good and just supremely nice to people in general in interviews and on the street and the same thing in mixed martial arts and things like that. There's characters of all types, and sometimes people do try to force it in the sports world. They do try to kind of force it, and it kind of comes off as people start picking up on that, and they go, this guy's kind of like faking the funk. So
Right.
it kind of some people try to copy what somebody else does naturally. So yeah, I think it's just ultimately they should just be themselves, whatever direction it goes to, whether it's neutral, really or douchey or just good guy type,
Yeah.
whatever it lands.
Yeah.
The issue with the NRS community, I think we all could agree this shit, is that there is people that is hated in the NRS community. It's not really because of their personality or like they're trying to be a villain. It's just shady shit that they do. Like I think that
Yeah.
happens a lot in the NRS community where just like you hate somebody because of something they did. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Like outside of the game, you mean?
Like
Yeah.
whether it is
Kind of.
God, yeah, whether it is outside of the game or there's like this one player that people hated because he had somebody else play for him in a tournament, like doing
Oh.
shady shit like
Oh,
that.
utility?
Yeah, or
Utility?
like shit like that. I honestly don't know, but I remember Sikander was just trying to fucking kill somebody because they played or whatever. And just shit like that, really. Like just doing shady shit, just like having somebody else play for you or playing for somebody else. It's just actions more than people coming off as a villain. I think that the NRS has way too much of that bullshit.
That's a fair
Yeah.
point. I think we live in a social media infested world now, so now like everybody, whether we like it or not, people when they do things outside of the game, it gets picked up on, and people will mention it, and it'll spread quickly, and
Right.
more than ever, because
Yeah.
whereas I mean, there's always been people that have done fucked up shit outside of whatever sport or game they're in, but then before it wasn't as known. Whereas now
Yeah.
it's like if something
Or it just kind of gets
happens,
brushed under the rug.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, case in point, one of my favorite basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan, and he's kind of known to do a lot of fucked up shit in the past, like during his prime. He's also
Gambling.
the greatest, but he's also the greatest fucking basketball player of all time. So that it's like,
Kobe years, I'm sorry.
So he's that caliber
yeah,
of a player to kind of get away, or people to overlook the crazy shit he did or shady shit he must have did.
yeah, kind of, like his own team members. It's like for people famously that knew him, like his own team members kind of were like, God damn, this guy could be an asshole sometimes
Right.
to his own team. Like tell his own team, like you guys ain't shit. But then at the same time, he's like
He's trying to
he
bring the
brings
competitive out of you.
he's so fiercely competitive. Yeah, he'll stab his own family member. He's that competitive. But at the
Yeah.
same time, he'll be the most baddest motherfucker in that scene. And
Yeah.
it's a catch-22 of sorts, I guess.
I
Yeah.
think one of the. Oh, sorry.
Oh no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just agreeing.
I was just gonna say, I think one of the interesting things about the NRS community in particular that I've kind of observed is that like it's really small and like it's I don't know what exactly makes this up, but you can see the kind of like cliques that have formed within it,
Hmm.
and and just that when somebody behaves in a way that's maybe not okay towards somebody else, like there's almost like groups that like go to war to each other over it. And I don't know, that's really strange. I wonder if that happens in like bigger gaming communities, because like I don't think in a lot of other or bigger gaming communities you would run into the same people as often as we do, right?
Right, right.
So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm sure there's a certain percentage of that in other fighting games too.
Yeah.
Although maybe just not as emphasized because the community may or may not be bigger depending on which game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that does exist in that world as well. It's just that MK is very we know we focus on this one because we're so invested in MK as a whole.
Right.
So
Oh wow, look at that. There's Sid. Speaking of villains, ladies and gentlemen.
No, honestly, I honestly think the biggest villain in the NRS community are Combat League players. Honestly, there's no. Hear me the fuck out. Hear me the fuck out. Hear me out loud.
Wolfie, I hope you're listening. Wolfie, I hope you're listening, because this is for you.
Okay, so hear me out. So like, there's been so many times on Twitter where I see people post hate mail on other players, and then like, hey dude, I remember that name from like last week. Like I always see a lot of the same people that are just being toxic on Combat League, getting put on Front Street with like these messages or them talking shit and saying racist shit or homophobic shit or whatever, and just like, I think that's the true villain. Because you know how many times I go on Twitter and I see people bitch and moan, oh, Combat League player, there needs to be a Wi-Fi filter. Yeah, suck my dick and don't play Combat League. How about that? You should try that. You should try that. Just not play Combat League. That is the real villain. I think we all could agree on that. That is the Combat League players. There's just so many casual players, honestly. There just is.
Yeah.
It's just like we need to accept it, but I don't know. It's a tricky conversation.
No, you're right, man. I fully agree with that. I think Combat League brings out the worst. Combat League is like a microcosm of all of the shittiest sewer parts of humanity. I get on Combat League. I've been called every racist fucking name in the book. Like why? Like why? I'm just trying to play a game, and then I'm like, dude, like they don't. I don't understand why. There's no need. Whether I win or lose, like it doesn't matter. Like even if I lose, I would never get to that point where I get, when I say those type of things, like it's just like, if I lost, I lost. You know what I mean? But why? It's toxic as fuck.
Even in casuals, there's times in casuals I remember back in the day I would go to, and there's just people fucking heated. Like you beat them twice and they beat you once and they dip. Like that is the greatest shit ever. But then it's also, you do appreciate people when you run into somebody that's really nice. I will say that. There's people I have run into in casuals that are just like, oh man, that's a really cool combo. How you do that? I'm like, I remember I got on the mic like, whoa, you're not going to say anything racist? Or like say anything homophobic?
Yeah.
Add me as a friend right now. It's like, dude, it's like, you appreciate, this is at least from my perspective, like, when people are like being nice and shit like that, like, I really appreciate them. But like, it's just, there's just so many shitty people. It's just what it is.
And it's awkward as fuck because you keep running into the same people over and over again too. Like it's not like a bigger game where like you play somebody in ranked and you never see them again. It's like you play somebody in rank and they shit talk you, and then you play them like 4 more times in a row that night, and it's like, oh my god, like I don't know.
Nemesis. It's Nemesis. Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to MK for bringing the Nemesis thing is kind of fun to see though. Like you see somebody that maybe teabagged you the previous match, and you see that their Nemesis name pops up, you're like, oh, now I'm gonna fuck them up on this one.
Yeah, right.
And then you get them, and then of course they rage, and they send you a 2-paragraph message of why you're a piece of trash or something. Like, what the fuck? And every now and then there'll be like, just like Exit said, at least what I've noticed, thankfully, sometimes is that if you're nice enough to people, because they put their guard up when they're on Combat League. Like people will sometimes, even people that are sometimes nice, will like just out of like fear of getting teabagged, they'll just ragefully teabag you first or something. And then when you talk to them nice, like, hey man, good game, they're like caught off guard, like,
I've done that.
They're like, oh, okay, hey, GG's man. And then you actually add them as a friend, and they're actually willing to run sets with you, and they're like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. Whereas at first you see like they want you to lash out because they're so paranoid of like, or maybe they'll just tell you afterwards in a paragraph like, hey bro, sorry man, I just teabagged because like I just been getting teabagged nonstop by everybody in Combat League, and I just had to take my rage out. It's like damn, like the rage
Like,
really, that's Combat League.
yeah, you already exactly. I've been on the receiving end on both sides. Like I've been like, oh, this guy's a fucking asshole, and then like next thing I know, he's like, hey, GG's man, that was fucking. Oh, oops. I didn't mean to teabag you. After all, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like I guess this kind of segues into what I was thinking in the middle of the conversation. Do you think? I mean, I don't see anybody else as sensitive as the NRS community, but like, do you think the NRS community is too sensitive to even have villains? You think, like, because it's like,
No.
no, you don't
No.
think so?
No, I'd say because I mixed it up in the Street Fighter community years ago before, and I've met people in Street Fighter that are just as salty and sensitive on Street Fighter as well, if not
Oh,
more
okay,
so.
okay.
So
That's actually what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
When you, sorry. I'm sorry. Did I cut you off? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go for it.
That's actually what I was thinking of saying. Like, when you're asking about villains, but since we're segueing, I was literally thinking that same thing. Like the reason why we don't have more villains is because of the sensitivity. And it's crazy because it's that same sensitivity that causes Combat League players, to rage the way that they do, and overreact when somebody hits them with fatal blow or whatever. And that's the reason why I think that our close group of, like, I really feel like we're all each other's, like, arch enemy, like, even though obviously we're all friends, for the most part, I hate Exit, but, for everybody else, like, I actually really think, I actually really think that we're all each other's, villain, just because of, like, I think, like, with villainy comes, a sense of respect, and that's what, the NRS scene lacks. Respect, and it's too much sensitivity, and it's just this time period that we're in that they're not able to I mean, I don't want to say all of them, but but I guess we as FGC are not able to really separate the game, and we're just taking it too seriously, and we're not able to separate basically the game from our personal feelings about somebody.
Right.
When somebody does us wrong, the first thing that we want to do is make them feel as bad as we do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess that probably ties in. I'm not the doctor here, saying that's, it's LBD, so I don't think anything from it, but I'm sure that probably ties into something about, saying with people's psyche and the way that people do stuff like that. But yes, as far as I'm concerned, I totally believe that NRS, the community, is just way too sensitive. Way too sensitive to have more villains, I absolutely love villains. I love it when people are like, oh man, I'm gonna smash you up, whatever, in this game, say you're done. I really love that. I love that attitude. I really love, like, the confidence in people. Like, I don't think that it's toxic at all, I really think that people just take it too seriously, and it's just somebody that's just the way they have fun with the game, they act like the villain, whatever. They actually, just like Exo was saying, maybe they are actually a really cool dude, but it's just, when they're playing the game, they adopt a different mindset, not a toxic one, just a more confident, villainous one, if you will. And that's, I think there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. It's, like I said, it's just people take it too seriously, and then, yeah. Well, terrible things ensue. But that's all I gotta say about that. Fuck you, Exit.
That's a fair point. I think it's as long as a villain can. There's a way to go about it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a villain villainy that's just like scummy, like absolutely this person's just despicable and they just have no respect. And then there's someone that's like a really likable, funny to like really hilarious villain, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's honorable villain in a sense, I guess.
Yeah, like if everybody, like Ric Flair's fucking hilarious, but he's the dirtiest player in the game. Like the old, he's funny to watch. And he makes it hilarious. He makes it entertaining, because you gotta have a villain to fight the good guy. But like, yeah. But then when there's villainy that's just completely like not funny and just like really shitty. Like, that makes any sense? Just shitty as a whole. Like it just.
Yeah.
I think that's when it goes a little too far. Like it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
there's a way to
yeah.
go about it. You can be charismatic with it. You know what I mean?
I think it's one of the things where it's like for the like long time spectator, there needs to be some level of drama within what they're watching, right?
Yeah.
But I think too that like to maintain the kind of heel persona over time where it's purely kept within the game, like that's a lot of effort. Like you have to be really conscious of pretty much all your interactions. And I think it's interesting actually because earlier somebody mentioned Tweety, and like every time I've spoken to Tweety, he's been a super nice guy, and like I think he's super nice to most people. But it's like, you know, I think for somebody in his position who started out as kind of like the heel, it's like really hard to keep that going for years and years and years, right?
Yeah.
Um, and maybe I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but like we live in kind of a weird time right now where it's a very thin line between being like you said, unshaven, like that kind of funny, like, you know, interesting heel kind of archetype, and then somebody who's like a dick who's gonna like get canceled on social media, or who like goes over the line, and maybe they don't totally understand how this works and they say something that's really inappropriate.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Well, because I mean,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, the standards for what's acceptable on social media and stuff like that have changed. I mean,
Definitely. That's weird.
not
It's definitely a different time now compared to the 80s or
yeah,
90s.
exactly right, and
Even for the
and
2000s, for that matter.
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
so and I think it's you have to be very conscious of uh, how you approach that if that's the role you're choosing to kind of take on yourself, because it's like one misstep and you're fucked basically.
Yeah. It can
Yeah.
be, it can become a little bit overboard sometimes,
Yeah.
the extreme, the pettiness of Twitter and social media and things like that. But
One thing about that, is I really think that you have no problem saying you should have no problem saying what you want as long as you keep it within the realms of the game. You know what I'm saying? If I talk crap about your gameplay, that has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides
right.
just your gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if I'm like, oh man, I hate that character you're using, or say you're trash with that character, you're trash, say you're not nothing, you're never gonna beat me using that character, you never, saying you can't ever, touch me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
keeping it within the realms of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Right.
saying anything about you. I'm not saying anything about your family. I'm not saying anything, nothing else but the game. You know what I'm saying? I think that as long as you're keeping it that way, I don't think you should have any problem. You know what I'm saying, with Twitter or cancel culture or whatever,
Right.
whatever
Right.
you're saying. You know what I'm saying? However you feel about that, that's uh, keep it
Right.
professional. Is basically what I'm saying.
Right. Right.
And then you shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah. Because that's like good banter between like a one-on-one in a
Exactly.
in a sport. They'd be like, "Hey,
Yes.
what's up, fool? You can't handle this, blah blah blah." You know what I mean? You ain't shit. Boom boom. Just to kind of fire them up to want to get back at you.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Anybody else have any takes on that?
Villains? My father, low tier god, the greatest.
Get
And
that
that's
ass banned.
get that ass
That
banned.
ass
Yeah,
banned.
and that's
Get that
funny
ass
that you said
banned.
that because I know, like, I think it was Hall MK in the
Yeah.
comment section. He was like, "Yeah, he seems like he's a bad kind of villain because he just straight up tells people, kill
You're
yourself."
fucking cuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah, he's done
cuckold.
some
And,
weird shit, man. That like he's yeah, it's crazy.
I
Yeah.
You
think
know,
uh, I think someone like him is an acquired taste. Um, I personally, I'll just say, before I get canceled now. No, I'm just kidding. But I honestly don't mind his like little bullshit talk because I think he just throws tantrums and he just blurs whatever the fuck comes first to his mind and his mouth.
Mhm.
I don't, I don't sincerely think he means that. And if he does, okay, that's pretty fucked up.
Right.
Um, but that's my take on it. I mean, some of the stuff he has said is a little is a
A
little
little too much.
little too much. I do agree, but I think some of the stuff is pretty funny though. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, not
well, I
to get
think
off topic or anything like with low tier god, but like I feel like he's just stuck in like the early, like his early days. Like back in that time period where everything was cool. Like you could say whatever.
Yeah,
Did
maybe.
you guys see the video that he
Yeah.
I
posted?
don't understand how he did not get canceled
No.
for what he said. If you know what I'm talking about, like
I
I'm
know
not.
he said some. I know what you're saying. He said some wild shit, man. Like that's just like wow. The thing is,
Yeah.
I kind of I'm in this. I mean, I'm in the same boat where like I kind of thought him when I was first introduced to him. I thought he was kind of funny. Because I thought, well, this guy's a clown. Like he's cartoonish to me. So I thought, well, they can't be real, like
Yeah.
because that's too over the top. Like that's just hilariously. He's got to be a caricature, right? He's got to be playing up and hamming up a role.
He is though. He is because
That's what I
like,
figured. Because I
Yeah.
heard that he was like a struggling actor. So he
Well,
was like, I was like, well, what
Sorry,
did you say?
I just that he posted a video recently where he kind of actually went into it, and I found it really interesting because he's like, he makes a good point. He's like, I am one of the only people in the FGC who has like a big following, and I've never won a tournament. I don't even need to be good at the game. I just like show up and do my thing, and like people give me money basically. And I was like, you know,
Right,
he's kind of
people
good.
give money.
So, like, he's kind of got a point. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he. I mean,
Right.
like maybe you know, there's different ways to go about it, but I mean, you know,
Yeah.
if that's how you want to make your living in the world, and you can play that, you can
Yeah.
you're right, you can almost play that comically, like
Yeah.
cartoonishly villain of the community, then I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's hustle, I guess, right?
Right, because that's what that's what I always tried to hope too. Because I thought, oh, man, I really hope he's not that terrible of a human being outside of. Because I was like, how could anyone stand him in real life? Like, you know what I mean?
You're
Because
right.
the only thing that I kind of lost respect a little bit for, because like when I started looking into some of the stuff he did, it was kind of like when he called people out and he tried to like threaten people. But he would threaten people that he knows that they weren't a physical threat, and he would try to threaten them. I'm like, this guy's trying to bully people. But then like when other people call him out on that, he's not about that. Like you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, man, this is fool talking shit. I'll lay him out right now. Tell me where you at. You live in the city, and I'll knock him out. And then the guy tells him, all right, then, well, I'm in the city right here. Come to this address, motherfucker. And then he gets quiet. He doesn't do it. Like I don't dig that part. You know what I mean? If you're gonna call someone out, you gotta back your shit up. Be like, don't like just call someone out and then don't show or just pretend like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? I don't like that part.
Fucking
But-
internet
Right.
gangsters.
Yeah, exactly. Internet thuggery. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to thug it out if you're not about that life. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
That's
Right.
because I don't know, that bothers me a lot. But aside from that, I mean, I dig it, man. I dig what he's doing. Like, you're right. He's probably getting paid like fucking mad money, and
Yeah.
you know, he's like just like what's his name, the other dude, the old guy, DSP. Like DSP's probably been getting paid all kinds for a long time, right? I mean, he sucks at games, but that's kind of his thing. He just goes around
Like
being
from
shitty
one
at games.
piece of shit to another. Like,
it's
Yeah.
I don't
You
even
know
know
what I
who
mean?
that
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like we live in this time now where these people are like almost like or very loosely regulated like radio talk show hosts, I guess, of the past, where like
Yeah.
you know they're personalities, but they're not like under a corporation or something like that where they have to like behave in a certain way. Like there's like certain parameters for Twitch and stuff like that. They can get banned, but like it's way more lenient than if you were actually being employed by somebody to do this.
Right. It's like the new age Howard Stern, but just in a way less regulated way.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything on that? Before I move on to the next thing.
Negative, sir.
yeah, I think we covered it.
Sir.
Alrighty. Schluddy really wanted me to ask this question. In case you hate this question, I'm gonna blame him. Where do you think the story should go from here on out, like MK12 wise? Like
He means like the MK storyline, like in and off with like the Liu Kang and Great Lao thing.
yeah, you think we should be stuck in that time zone, right? Or start off with that time zone again, like back in who knows? I don't know. Let's just say it was like the 1800s or something weird like that, you know?
Excuse me, what? He's the time traveling god. Are you asking me this question, sir?
It's a broad question.
Okay, good. So the year is 2080, right? Tarkatans have taken over the world. Aaron Black has been made everyone's sex slave, and he's been cloned multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Just so that we can all destroy him. The MK roster, that's pretty much it. The MK roster is just Tarkatans. That's it.
That's it.
And they're all
DLC, take a wild guess. More Tarkatans. The end.
It wouldn't
You're
be like
welcome.
Kane's like
How much
grandson.
is it selling for? $79 PS5 only.
That's right.
Exclusive. You're welcome. Thank me later.
That's right.
I would buy it.
Yeah, if your name's Exit, you have to buy it. And you have to buy it for twice.
Doing me.
Exclusive PS5. That's right.
Shleddy, since it's your question, maybe did you want to chime in on where where the story should go from here on out?
I think we should be introduced to like some new type of villain.
Some new type of villain.
Yeah, like a I won't say like a presence greater like than Chronica, or more feared in a way. It just gives like something like Fire God Liu Kang to like fear, with like his decisions and like his powers and shit that he fucking got. And I want to see like what happens with Raiden, means that he gave like his god powers to Liu Kang and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Probably follow like the storyline with the Great Kung Lao and Lao and everything like that.
Raiden becomes an accountant at Wells Fargo.
Yeah, well, Jim said that's right. He's fucking he works in
Kang
and
hits 30, realizes it's worse than fighting Chronica.
Right. I think it would be interesting, like if it was like the big bad was like Onaga again, like I guess like in his prime before he like Shao Kahn poisoned him or whatever.
Well, can Onaga time travel? No.
No, Onaga was actually the previous emperor before Shao Kahn. If you fucking know your lore, thank you very much.
I
pussy.
know that, but can he time travel like Fire God Liu Kang? No, he cannot.
No.
I'm sorry. Suck it, loser. Loser.
But yeah, so I think they should stay with the Great Kung Lao and maybe have the Great Kung Lao actually win the tournament. I don't that part I don't remember if he actually won or not. I think he lost to Goro, but I think that'd be pretty interesting, and like
Well,
maybe
listen.
like Scorpion's like grandfather, or like Sub-Zero's great grandfather, or like talk about more so like his origins, like supposedly that like I guess Sub-Zero's like Edenian, or his roots are from Edenia, stuff like that. I think would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That would
You
be
think
kind of
we-
interesting.
You know what would
We-
be
I-
cool? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go for it.
Oh, okay. You know it'd be cool, man. If Cetrion, say, hypothetically uses her god powers, right? And just hypothetically, like, kills herself and then brings back Shinnok. Then MK would be a happy place.
That's right.
Now go.
And then Raiden could tell her that she just shared Shinnok's fate.
There you go.
That's right. I just realized the perfect big bad for MK12. Let's make it Cole Young, and so everybody can take out their rage on Cole Young. So ultimately, the Great Kung Lao has to face off. It's a what-if scenario, and he has to face off multiple endings here. If he kills Cole Young, it goes one direction. If Cole Young kills him, then it goes another direction.
Yeah.
I would have main Cole Young, guaranteed.
Everyone needs to kill Cole Young so he doesn't show up in the sequel, so the movie.
Yes, he has like 3,000 fucking health. He has incredible plot armor.
I really like Cole Young.
Dude, me too.
Yeah, he wasn't. I just hated that they gave him amazing armor. It's not that he could have been a nice addition to the overall storyline. The way they went with it was just really weird.
Yeah, I agree.
He
It's
gets
not a
the way he got
birthmark.
his powers. Yeah, the birthmark. And then the way he gets his powers conveniently, perfectly, and then he takes out fucking Goro. Like this newcomer takes out Goro. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like they didn't have enough faith in like the legacy of MK, because it's like the point of the character is obviously to introduce this to the world, and like because he doesn't know what's going on either, right? So we can like hear all the fucking exposition.
Yeah.
But like but it's like MK's been around for like 30 years. Like everyone knows this by now. Who's gonna go see this movie? So I don't know. Just have more faith in the viewers, maybe.
I agree, but I also feel like, I think you kind of have to cut Cole Young some slack, because, I feel like he had to prove himself. If he didn't kill, Goro, who was he going to kill? Who is he gonna kill that we're gonna have faith that this guy can actually do some serious?
They could have had him kill.
They're gonna have Cole Young kill Sub-Zero. Is that what you're telling me?
No,
okay,
no.
yeah, try again.
They could have had him kill.
I mean, they did.
They could have had him kill the general, the guy that was with the hammer, the sledgehammer.
Yeah, Raiko? General Raiko?
Yeah, they could have killed Raiko.
Man.
And Goro could have been prepped to fight like one of the main Mortal Kombat warriors in a big ass battle.
Liu Kang? Yeah.
Because
To be honest, I don't think he had to kill Goro to cut you. I'm so sorry, but like I don't think he had. I don't think that he had to kill Goro. If he like cut off one of his arms or something, or damaged him really
I'll get you
badly,
next time,
I
fucker.
think that would have been yeah, you know what I'm saying, something like that, and Goro throws down a smoke bomb and runs off or something, you know what I'm saying?
This big old 10-foot guy.
So, yeah, obviously something to get him out of that situation, but I mean, I think that would, then the viewer could be like, okay, then, this Cole Young guy, he knows what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? He's a tough guy, you know what I'm saying? He's got that literal plot armor. Okay, all right. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
He just actually killing him? I don't know.
I felt like overall the film felt like it was heavily chopped up to like it had like maybe at one time it was a much bigger movie and they edited it down a whole lot to fit a small frame, so there wasn't a lot of character building. There was no character arc it didn't feel like a big character arc for Cole. He was just there. And so it kind of just like he went from just being a guy that lost his MMA fight to all of a sudden getting godly armor and stopping a fucking 500-year champion.
Yeah. Right.
So that kind of, that's the part that, because usually you want to have a strong arc for the character.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely.
And I feel like maybe it was because maybe the director got forced to, chop the movie down or something. Maybe it was that situation. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it looked cool. The fight scenes were cool and everything. I was just fairly disappointed in some of the storytelling. That's about it.
Yeah. And Sub-Zero was fucking awesome.
Sub-Zero, he was
amazing.
He was a menace. Like he was kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Amazing Sub-Zero, and shout out to that guy, fucking the actor from Sub-Zero. He's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody want to chime in on that? Those were all my questions for this for this podcast, honestly.
Yeah, I just want to say it was just a birthmark.
It's not a birthmark.
That's the only reason he killed Gore. It was just a birthmark.
It was just a birthmark. There you go.
It's Arcana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Arcana. The power of the Arcana.
I love that line. It's like, it's a birthmark. He was born with it. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's what a birthmark is.
Yeah. It's like, really? I thought he was...
You don't get a tattoo birthmark there.
Yeah. His mom, as soon as he was born, just burned it on him. Like, what the fuck?
He got branded.
He got branded, yeah. There we go.
It's a boy. Doctor, don't give me the baby. First burn his ass with this fucking... It's
maybe he was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline,
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Straight up.
Oh, man.
Does anybody want to add on or have any other topics they want to bring up?
I'm good.
Cause I don't have any live questions, unfortunately. It doesn't look like in the chat. This
The live Q&A.
This is the first time I probably haven't had any live questions.
All right, chat. Does anybody have any questions in the chat?
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
What's that?
If MK was to expand what kind of character archetypes they have, what would be some other archetypes you've seen in maybe other fighting games that you'd like to see in NRS games?
That's a good one.
I can tell you something that we don't need: anime thoughts. We don't need that in this game.
I agree.
100%.
That
I agree.
would,
There's already plenty of that shit in other genres and other fighting games. So that's like, MK's got to stay with its unique style. So
I think this will make Exit so happy, but we need more characters somewhat like Aaron Black. Not.
I'm about to fucking leave. I'm honestly about to leave.
Hear me out.
Cut the shit, dude.
cowboy shit.
No. We need more like gunslingers and like grimy ass.
I agree.
Why?
What?
I agree.
Why?
Yep.
Can you explain yourself? Like honestly, why do we need guns in a game that's about ninjas and zombies? Like
Because
why?
ninjas can't
Well, like,
fucking dodge bullets.
Ninja,
yeah,
what?
that's what
That's a
like
lie.
in my okay, in my opinion, guns are cool, okay, but like too much. This is it's just not needed. It's really just maybe like just none, just no guns. Honestly, I just don't see a reason. Like if we're fighting, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't. I just think that it shouldn't be overpowering. You know, to constantly add guns and you know, just come
Right.
on. We're
Honestly,
fighting. We're
we need
fighting.
more grimy like dark sorcerer type of characters like Quan
I do like
Chi,
that. Yeah.
Bro, we need
Shinnok. You can even throw
Shinnok, bro.
Well,
Havoc
Quan
in
Chi and
there. Like
Jack, with
that
Quan
has
Chi and
the
Shinnok would be
dark
perfect in the
vibe
roster.
to him. Like the only dark character like we have that's like kind of somewhat grimy is Noob Saibot. Let's keep it real.
Yes.
Like
Right.
he's
True.
like the one that has like this clean ass dark aesthetic. Maybe Scarlet, but Scarlet's a thought. Let's just keep it
Emo.
real. But yeah, just like Noob Saibot's like the only one that has that dark, you know, old school MK aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like that's really
Yeah.
about it. Everybody else is
Right.
just like, hell, I'm in the army because of my mom. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
what? Like really?
I mean, we
Like-
do got Shao Kahn, and he's the ultimate badass still to this day.
But
So
he-
and-
I
bottom
think
five.
I think him in this game. I think they did a solid job with him, other than like competitively. But like, he just doesn't feel like grimy ass Shao Kahn that's going to fuck you every time he touches you. It doesn't come off as that, you know. It, like I don't know. I
Right.
feel like the vibe with Shao Kahn was a bit off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's supposed to be there to embarrass the fuck out of you and make you feel stupid.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
think
I feel
part of
this
that-
game. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, good. No, good.
I just felt like this game was a little bit like I felt like MKX and MK9 did a good job at like bringing the MK feel. Like actually, like it was like pretty
Yes,
much like the
they
grimy, like the
absolutely-
like gritty.
yeah.
Like it needs to be gritty. Like this game is too. I honestly feel like as much as I like the way the game looks, it's actually too clean for a MK game. You know what I
Look
mean?
at the main menus.
Really?
Look how clean the main menus
Yeah.
are for X. You get to pick between like 5, and this one is just like, I'll never forget this moment when I got MK11 the first day. Super excited, like a kid in Christmas. My girl said, "Are you playing Injustice?" And I was like, "Son of a bitch, this is like Injustice." And that shit hurt my feelings. That
First
shit
match
hurt
against
my
Cetrion, and you're like, yeah, yeah.
feelings. I was like, damn, it does feel like that, and I just didn't want to shit on the game, but it just like, yeah, this shit don't feel like no MK, like for sure.
Yeah, it feels. It
know-
feels. It kind of feels like a little, almost like Street Fighter-y. Like it. I just don't feel like when I was younger. Like I would like turn on the game and I'd feel like instantly like it was just like MK's tense. You know what I mean? Like you can feel. I mean it's a game, but you can feel it's tense. Like you can feel like as much as I
lot of
like
atmosphere.
seeing Scorpion and Sub-Zero rivalry, but like. And the friendship now, but I miss the rivalry too at the same time.
That shit
Does that
gotta
sound weird?
go. We need new characters. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
we
probably
need, we need to
because-
get rid of
yeah.
Scorpion and Sub.
We
I'm
need at
sorry.
least 4.
Oh, then that can never happen because the fans
Yeah,
would
yeah.
go insane.
Absolutely
if
not,
Scorpion
no.
and Sub,
DLC. There's a thing called DLC. Honestly,
Yes.
it's gonna be the MK3 situation all over again when that happens. So then,
Come on, DLC. Scorpion and Sub is DLC. How much
that'll
sense
be
does that make?
clean. That, and they
Be
really,
honest
like,
with yourself.
give depth into
Yeah.
them. I
I'd
don't know.
buy it.
Fuck it.
people would grab their pitchforks and go insane. doing
Yeah,
that
that's
shit.
ridiculous. That DLC.
Yeah.
Bro, we have Collector and Cetrion in MK11. Where are the fucking pitchforks at? Like, they just wasted slots. Let's just keep it real.
Facts.
Like, Collector and Cetrion are a waste of slots, if you want me to be
I mean,
honest.
new
Yeah, I don't
characters, you
like
know.
how-
That's the thing.
Like,
I don't like how
I feel
Cetrion's-
like if people had to vote, like, the world had to vote, if we can get characters like Ermac or Kenshi back,
Ermac.
even fucking put shitty-ass
Right,
Takedo or Takeda,
Right.
or the fucking
Hey, he was a good character. I want
People
you to
would
stop it
pick
right
him
now.
over these characters that we got. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we'll pick over Collector and Cetrion. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kenshi's definitely dope. I mean, but if for them to remove Scorpion and Sub from the core, that's extremely controversial, man. That
Yeah.
people would really go nuts, man. Because I still remember MK3, man, and MK3 just for them removing Scorpion was
Yeah,
and
that
Raiden
was
was a
huge,
huge
yeah.
thing of controversy. And so It wasn't, they fixed it with Ultimate MK3, but you know,
Yeah, those characters are probably gonna be in the game, but it's just like I just feel like okay, we have to have Raiden, we have to have Liu Kang, we have to have
mhm.
Scorpion, Sub, and Sonya. It's just like, dude, that's a lot of slots that we could be getting like Havoc or like Ermac or all these other characters that are just, in my opinion, way better. But I think we just have to
Mhm.
live with that. That they're always gonna be in the game, always.
Isn't that mind
Right.
blowing? What Ermac became, how popular he became. What
Yeah,
originally started off as a bad fucking code.
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? His name is Error Macro, and it just
Yeah.
started off as just being an error, a glitch on the fucking on making ninjas in a color palette on the game, like an MK3.
He was a rumor.
Yeah, it's a
Became
rumor,
true.
that's the I gotta hand it to the MK team. That's what they do with the with secret characters. It went from just a glitch to being a super duper popular background story character, and that's cool, man. That's the way they come up with things.
Yeah. I'm sorry, LBD. I felt like you were cut off there, or you were gonna say something a minute ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I just wanted to ask actually, like, okay, so based on the kind of conversation we just had, like, if they were to add more characters or archetypes or something like that, what are some of the gameplay elements that you'd like to see that are different?
Oh, my bad. I forgot. Mm,
That's a better question. How do you think about that, sir?
I really want them to add a puppet character that some of the anime games have, like
Oh
Zato or
my
something.
God,
I think
Jesus
that would be
Christ!
cool.
Thank you, sir. I love you, man. I love
What?
you. No, not like that. He's a great
They should
person.
get the little puppet from Goosebumps, the little dummy. There you go. That'd
I'm
be
gonna
nice.
smack
That'd
you.
be money. Hey, what's up,
Dun,
dog?
dun,
Leave,
dun, dun,
leave
dun, dun,
now.
dun.
Leave
No,
now.
no, 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 no.
Yeah, that's his intro. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun,
Bro, you
dun,
y'all tell
dun,
me
dun,
that shit
dun.
wouldn't be hype. You tell me
All
that
right,
shit
we're,
wouldn't be
we're
hype.
okay. Exit. What you're saying is you want to have the Nickelodeon afternoon DLC pack. It's gonna have Are You Afraid of?
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
gonna
buying
have
this game.
it's gonna have scary stories to tell in the dark. It's gonna
Yes,
have
that's a
Goosebumps,
great
and
show.
it's gonna have what was the last one where they sat around the campfire and then they told the story all the time? Was it Are You Afraid of the Dark? Is that what it's called?
Are you afraid of dark?
I
There
think
you
so.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna have those three. It's gonna have those three themes
And
and
then when they
DLC
get
for
rid
those
of
characters.
Scorpion because they added the dumb.
Oh shit.
Scorpion's gonna be part of the Goosebumps fucking storyline. Is what he wants to.
That'd be great.
They just need to put Pennywise in the game, and then I'll be a happy camper or Candyman.
You know what? They probably will. They probably
Dude,
will upcoming.
Dude, if Candyman was in the game and he was like a slasher, that'd be like the greatest thing.
Yes, that's another one that they may
That'd
be in the
be
mix.
beautiful. Dude, and, like the fatalities
Yes.
that he would have, that'd be beautiful.
Yes.
Ghostface would
Little
also be pretty clean. Like,
Oh,
little
that'd be tight.
Caprini Green's projects background fucking stage. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
if they added fucking Ghostface, me and X are man.
Yeah, that's
I'm still waiting for Ash. Unfortunately it never popped up, but it would have been cool to have Ash from Evil
definitely
Dead.
one.
That's
But Candyman would be really fucking cool too. The Pinhead from Hellraiser would be really cool too.
Yeah, I think we
So-
need more characters with stances. Like, I think
Yes.
Yeah.
in the next
Stances.
game, I still can't get over how fun Leatherface's stances, his killer variation in X. Like that is
okay.
to me one of the funnest like characters because of that stance. Just you get so many options, you know. Like, I think more characters need stances. Just adds more variety, you know.
Yeah, it's
certain
like Jen from
characters.
Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like just things like that. I don't know. Like that's probably my answer to.
Wait, did you say Jin from Street Fighter?
Gin? The
Oh, Gin. I was like, wait.
yeah. Not Jin with
Yeah.
a J, but Gin like G.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad.
Chinese
yeah.
kung fu Southern style guy.
I do agree to the stance thing. I think like with like Virtua Fighter, I think that shit's like so cool. Like, or even Tekken for that matter. Like they have different stances and they completely do different things with, I guess, pretty much their original button layout.
And it does add
yeah.
more like execution to like certain things. Like you want to do
Yeah.
a combo, you have to get into a stance, or like not only stances, but like this sounds a little wild, but like what if they brought back the actual stances from Deception? You remember that shit? Like what if when you're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
combos, in order to like keep the combo going, you have to switch to a different stance that has
Right.
different moves, and like that's how you can continue the combo off of, like after
Well,
a launcher or whatever.
I'd start
I think
clicking
that would be
more.
really dope.
Well, you know that
That would be
the original stances from the 3D games, that's what kind of became the foundation to creating the variation system in the later games in MK10 and MK11.
Like, keep the
That makes
variation
sense.
system, and then we also get to pick, like, oh, there's, like, in total of, like, 6 stances, you can pick, like, up to 2, and you get to, like, mix it up. Like, that is straight up gameplay variety right there. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that would
some
be
wild
tight.
variety, honestly. That's wild.
But there, I don't know if NRS is up for doing stuff like that. Like, if I had to add one thing to the next game, it would be that. To add stances and, like, it's like a way of, like, opening people up. Like, oh, if he has this stance, oh, there's a shit ton of 50-50s. Oh, if he has this stance, oh, it's more like everything is safe and just, like, I don't know, I think that shit would be so dope. But that's just me, I don't know, maybe...
Broke. If you broke.
Yeah, maybe, exactly, maybe that shit will be broke. Who knows? Maybe
Let's
that
say
shit will be broke.
because the question
Wow.
is, do you really want a shit ton of characters with a shit ton of 50-50s? That's
No, I'm
the
not saying like
question.
every character shot 50-50, just like every stance it does something different, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I get what you're
they've
saying.
had 4 games with a stance switch button. Maybe they should use it, you know?
Oh, like a side switch?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
button's
I
just there
agree.
taking up space.
To be fair,
It
I
really
I
is.
kind of like that. I think that button's kind of fun to use to like fuck with people, like just kind of like make them flinch. So sometimes you use it like right when they think you're gonna throw a move, and you kind of just twist your feet and then bam, and then you tag them. You make them whiff.
Oh, I never thought about using it like that.
Yeah, I do that sometimes to land the fucking raid and overhead chop. Where sometimes I make 'em, I like delay it a little bit, and then I do the stance switch, so they think I'm gonna throw an attack, and then I switch stance and then I throw the chop, and it works a lot of times.
That makes sense. Bah, I would never thought of that. But I think the stand switch, that's a really good one. I do like that. I didn't know what you meant in puppet characters, like, but what did you mean by that exactly?
Oh yeah, not like the fucking puppet from Goosebumps, but no.
Bonus DLC.
No, I meant a character like Zato, where they have like a summonable other thing that you can control independently of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a few characters like that in some anime fighting games that are pretty neat. And you can like position the other unit, I guess, like in different parts of the stage, so you can like sandwich your opponent or like do different pressure sequences and shit like that. So
Interesting.
LBD, have you ever played like Ultimate Ninja Storm and shit like that?
no, I never tried it.
Okay, never mind that. I'm about to say, the only character I can think about is from Naruto, which is Tanjiro. He was the like puppet master and shit like that. So like, how would that work though with like puppet characters? Like, say like like if you hit the puppet, does it like is it like a one hit, then it's just decimated, and then you have to go back?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that'd be fair. But like,
And does the guy take damage or no, not at all?
I mean,
No, like
no, that wouldn't happen because you're not actually hitting the person.
Right. I was just I figured, but I just thought I'd clarify that.
Yeah, well, in Guilty Gear, how it works is you have like a meter, and doing certain actions with the puppet like drains the meter, and if you hit it, the meter completely diminishes, and you have to wait a certain period for it to come back before you can summon it again. So there's like a resource management component of it as well. But actually, that's kind of another thing I wish that that NRS would add is just like character-specific resources. A lot of other games have that, and I think that's cool.
I think Aaron Black's the only one that has that. I think with the with his bullets, and I think maybe if you want to kind of throw Devora in there, like the bugs, like if the bugs are on you, then you get a KB type of thing. Like that's the only thing I can really think of. I could be wrong, but that would be interesting. Like just the resources. I think that'd be really cool. Like
Yeah, that
Kane,
would be kind of cool.
maybe Kane has so many knives he can throw, or something
Actually,
of that
no.
nature.
He'd be more
No,
violent.
nope,
Sorry,
no,
mate.
not okay.
Well, like I think like
Or
okay,
maybe you
like
could have like different types of knives, like some that could blow up and be a launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Three.
cool.
yeah, and then
Balance
like
his character.
and then maybe like let's just say there's a certain knife that he throws, like okay, let's say you block it. Well, he can just like if he's rushing you down, you think he's gonna hit you, maybe he picks it up and like he can do something else with it, or like I don't know, like
Like how Nightwolf's little axe thing.
The
he throws
axe?
on his But
yeah, kind of like that, I guess. Yeah.
they like
but-
you have like a reload thing, like a demolition Sonya.
But like
Never
I guess with like Vega, like I mean obviously I'm kind of going back to Street Fighter here, but with Vega he's kind of got like a Wolverine claw type of thing, and if you
Oh
hit
yeah.
him a certain way, he loses that, and I think he doesn't get as much damage or he's not able to do certain moves
Hmm.
because he loses that fucking claw. You know what I mean? So I think that's interesting, like having something like that.
It was always interesting the way they brought him to the to fighting games. He just climbs fences for some reason.
Yeah, non-existent
He's
walls.
just yeah, does that fucking leap.
Yeah. Any other archetypes you guys would like to see?
I think they should bring back like an old man, like in oh, what is the name of that game? Anyway, the old man archetype that like he does like Tai Chi. He's very frail, but he's like super strong. You know what I'm saying?
The
I've
old the
always
old
liked.
timey
Rachel's dad? Is that who you're
the
talking
old the
about?
old man kung fu master.
Rachel.
Yes, man, dude. Oh my god, dude. I love that art. It's like so much. I think that's so cool. Just like that
Yeah.
this old man can do all this crazy stuff and he's just, oh, how did I get? He's got like dementia and somebody throws a punch and and he acts like he slipped, fell, and breaks their arm and like the rest of their lineage is just dead because he sneezes. Or something. I don't know. I like that kind of.
Pretty much the guy from Virtua Fighter, the old man with the
Yes.
drunken boxing
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
Drunken Box style. They,
Yeah,
they should
and
never let that go.
I was just
Yeah,
about to
we
say
need
that,
Boraicho back, yeah.
Yeah, Boraicho.
I guess
yeah,
Boraicho, right? But then he's pretty old, right? But then like I guess he's not
he's a
technically
master.
considered an
Yeah.
old man.
He farts.
Dead or Alive. That's the game. Dead or Alive. That's the game I'm thinking about.
And then like I think it's like so many swigs like his like I don't know if it's dead or alive, but in Virtua Fighter like so many swigs like his his hits get harder or something like that or
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but if you drink too much then he starts kind of getting like a little unbalanced or something like that. You know?
Mhm.
I think shit like that
Your
would be
hits
cool like a
actually
drunken
miss, yeah.
master. Yeah. A drunken master would be pretty dope.
Actually, maybe not your hits miss. I think that just pissed me off.
And given that's a risk reward with that type of archetype though, you know?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. And if he drinks enough, he can get like a crushing blow, like with after a certain amount of drinks.
Yeah.
Fucking smacks you with the bottle.
Yeah.
Sounds like that.
And has a fucking crushing blow where he throws up on you.
Like each shot of whatever alcohol he has does
Now
something
you guys are
different
just
to him.
now you guys are just describing my drunken uncle that lives like across the street. That's-
Hey, shove the bottle in your mouth and you start drinking.
Yeah, he's got a shot of Fireball and gives him fire powers, and then he's got a shot of Jägermeister and he gets fucking ice powers or something crazy like that. Like that'd be
just
pretty
got-
funny.
He just combines a case of beer with a bunch of liquor, and then he just goes to town.
Yeah.
Sounds like a night on the town. Forces
sounds
you
like-
to be his wingman. Forces you to be his wingman. Talks to you about his problems at the bar. I'm sorry.
Talks to-
Back to MK, right? Back to.
Just problems in this bar, yeah. Talk about how he used to be the shit back in the day.
He still wears his Letterman's jacket.
You know, I did it. I was your age.
Anybody want to add to the archetypes?
Should have never hit her with that crushing blow, man.
Yeah. Oh
Sorry,
man,
I'm stupid.
I used to have a mean left hook, man. I'm telling you, I really did.
I think it's time for the cough, man.
Yeah. If anybody doesn't have anything else, we'll wrap this up, and it'll be cough time.
Cough time.
Cough.
Alrighty.
trying to-
All right.
I'm trying to think if anybody else think of any horror, any horror themed bad guy or horror themed character
Don't
that they'd
add
like to have
Chucky. I
into.
swear to God, if they add Chucky to this game, I'm actually
Don't add Chucky. Yeah.
Chucky.
Yeah,
Chucky.
That'd be the stupidest shit they ever fucking done.
The hitbox
Yeah.
on Chucky would be too crazy. Yeah, that'd be.
It'd
There's
be
no
like
way.
fucking Jackie, but on fucking AIDS.
Oh my god.
But they did add like Ghostface. That'd be the coolest shit.
I agree.
Ghostface
He had a
Killer or
fucking-
Ghostface?
Ghostface. See, like he had a fucking intro that says "Hello, Sydney." Yeah, wait, no, do the voice accent now. Do it,
I can't do it.
do it now. No,
Hello,
you're
Sydney. You want to play a
yeah,
game?
yeah. That has a fucking
Sydney,
intro.
I'm gonna gut you like a fish, real nice.
And his outro would be him just killing Sydney.
Every time I really think you guys are talking about me, and I feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, we don't care. You live in
All
Hawaii.
of a sudden.
Oh man.
All
Why
right.
why not Hannibal Lecter in
Hannibal would be pretty clean.
Hannibal
Yeah.
would
A
be
straight
pretty
up
dope.
grappler, he just bites you
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time he can.
I like to
I
have a
think we
piece of
should
your
have a cannibal.
flesh.
I think they should add cannibals. Like
I mean,
one.
Yeah,
Baraka's
well-
already a cannibal.
Baraka's kind
Yeah,
of
I
a
don't
cannibal,
care.
right?
Yeah, I want like green and
Oh,
Furman
imagine the
type thing.
dialogue between Hannibal and Baraka. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I don't want to fight. Let's go to Applebee's. Like, what?
God, yes, a tarkatan. I have a lovely piece of flesh from a tarkatan blade. Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's very gamey meat.
Yeah.
Dude, why is Holt saying Ghostface is a stupid choice? You're just stupid.
Just let
Wait,
he's a
RoboCop.
RoboCop main. Just let him.
Maybe
be.
Ghostface is just too human.
No.
I
he's
think
not
so
as-
too.
Rambo's
Like-
in the game. Yeah, I don't want
But
to.
he's
But Rambo's Rambo. He took on a chopper, bro.
Rambo.
Yeah, no, Ghostface
No,
has
but they
a
can
knife,
give him
so-
like ghostly like features, like he could like teleport or some shit. I don't know. Like he could have that aesthetic to it, or like
just slaps you
kinda
with
that,
a
right?
fucking phone with a voice
And
changer
then-
or some shit.
And then the tricky part with Ghostface is that Ghostface is always, it's not just one central person, right? Because like different films have different people as the.
Oh, it could
As
be
the
like
masked killer.
like how Johnny has like the stunt double shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can do
Another
that.
one
There you
runs-
go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say something like that. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
guys ever play Terrordrome? Did you guys ever hear about that?
Terrordrome?
that
Yeah.
sounds so familiar.
It was like
man.
indie-made fighting game. I don't think they ever could make money off of it.
Oh
but,
yeah, it's on
yeah.
PC only, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
Oh,
What
I
you're
heard
talking
about it. Yeah,
with
yeah,
all
yeah.
the
I know
blue
what you're talking
characters.
about now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
in
was so
that one,
cool.
Ghostface basically had that move where the other killer would run from across the screen oppositely and like grab them, like
Oh
Johnny.
shit.
Yeah.
They should have a new where Sydney just runs across the street and just smacks the fuck out of the other character.
That was the one where like all the horror
Showing
characters
Sydney?
are on there. Right?
The what?
That was the game where like all the horror like villains
Yeah,
and
that
like
was-
other
Yeah.
characters
Dude,
were
I
on there.
watched gameplay of that. That shit was so cool. I'd buy it.
It kind of looks like MK in a weird sense, like the older MKs, no?
Yeah.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about now. But yeah,
It'd be cool if they
that'd be
would
dope.
have added Pennywise.
Definitely Pennywise
Dude,
would be really
fucking
cool.
shape shifters. That'd be really cool. Look at English for a second.
And as the skins, they could have like the original '80s Pennywise, and then the Pennywise of like modern day as well. So like that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be dope. And
Is
just
that- oh,
like
that was-
different like clown outfits. As much as I hate clowns, ugh.
There you go. See, bringing the
All right,
terror
so-
already.
That'd be really fucking cool, though. In my dad, like Pennywise, Ghostface. They should go back to like the horrors character, like with the guest character thing. I don't know what they're doing next, but like they should definitely do the horror characters. That's like the coolest.
Definitely, yeah. It fits in with MK perfectly. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's
User.
better than RoboCop. Holt. And it's better than Rambo. Exit.
I
Rambo.
agree. I agree 100%.
I mean, RoboCop is pretty legendary though, man. It was pretty amazing just to see him, in a fighting game like that too, though. That was. And
Yeah,
technically,
but it's
RoboCop's
bottom
world is kind of really. It's not a horror movie, but it's like, it's a really bleak, brutal world in RoboCop. So it's kind of like, in that sense,
Yeah.
it kind of fits. Like it's, like if you see the way Murphy gets killed in the movie, then it's basically a horror movie
Yeah, right.
before he becomes RoboCop.
I would have like Judge Dredd. I think that would have been fucking dope.
Yeah, this is Dread.
He'd have been better.
be judge. I'm the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dread, man.
Shit.
But I guess they already had Rambo, so I guess maybe they kind of. I don't know if Warner has the rights to it. Yeah,
No,
I'm three
I'm
different
talking about the new
characters.
Judge Dredd. The new Judge Dredd was dope.
Oh, the Carl Urban.
Yeah, there you go. He was
Okay, yeah.
dope. Like him, he would have been sick.
Yeah,
I forgot
that'd be really
Sylvester
cool.
Stallone played him as well. Fucking A.
Yeah, that's the OG. Yeah, with Rob Schneider.
Whoa, Rob Schneider? Holy shit.
Yeah, he was like his buddy in the movie. He's like,
I
look
did
at
not
you,
know that.
asshole. You're I am the law.
No, you know.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think they
Oh,
man.
should
man.
just put Sonic Fox in the game as a playable character.
It's a fun-
Just the fox.
Yeah.
like no powers or nothing. It's just Sonic Fox.
they
People start
deserve
singing
it.
with the fucking controller. Has fucking Joker strings that divorce setups.
The
There you
divorce setups.
Yeah. Has fucking
He takes-
noob Cybot damage.
Damn.
They should just be a boss character.
Facts.
You know, going back to when you guys talked about Shao Kahn being like having less of his evil luster that he used to have,
Uh-huh.
I think part of that is because nowadays we're used to having Shao Kahn as a character now, whereas way back in the day he was always considered a boss type character in the old days.
Mm.
Yeah,
like-
okay, you should still be an asshole and embarrass you.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Like,
he
what's
is
the
a
point of him
he's still a
saying you
scumbag.
suck at the end of the fucking brutality when he's fucking bottom five?
He's,
Because he
I mean, he's
outplayed
pretty
you.
good now, man. Yeah, he's still tough
Still
now.
what?
He's
He's bottom five.
he's
Bottom five. Bottom
And-
five.
I'd put him at B rank. I wouldn't put him not at the top, but not at the bottom either.
He's still ass. He doesn't just embarrass you.
He's got crazy damage though, you know. He's got great reach. He's got that.
His biggest
kill-
issue is just like, yeah, he could do that, but just like opening people up with Shao Kahn is like, that shit's rough.
Yeah, what do you do?
The most
Short
things you're
hop?
landing with Shao Kahn nowadays is a short hop, a sweep, and a grab. That's pretty
His
much about it.
corner pressure's pretty nuts. He's got that little 2-step footwork, and then of course he's got a lot of jailings. He's got a nice down too. He's got that, what do you call that move? The little shoulder charge. That one cuts like basically tells neutral to fuck off. It just boom.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like certain characters that are lower tier, though, I don't know what it is about this game compared to some other ones that like makes better characters of a similar type stick out more. But like when I look at Shao Kahn and like Baraka is another good example, it's like there's Spawn who also has this damage, but he has like the disjointed normals and like, you know, the projectile parry and all this other shit, right?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it a little bit simplistically there, but that's kind of how I see it.
Those two guys are really huge damage dealers. Spawn and RoboCop. I mean RoboCop, fucking Spawn and Shao Kahn.
Yeah, don't forget Baraka boys. But yeah.
Sure, of course. With his cool chef hat.
Baraka's ass. I'm sorry.
What's that?
That's a Baraka's ass.
Yeah, if you get beat by a Baraka player, you just suck.
He just got outplayed.
Exactly, you got outplayed.
I mean, if you guys remember Baraka and MK9, Baraka was really bottom tier in MK9.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And-
he definitely was.
So
You think he
for
is
those that
now?
were dedicated using him back then. I mean, he's way higher tier now than he was back then. Back then in MK9, he was struggling.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, I agree. I
Things
can't
I've never
argue
in
with
my
that.
life- Things that never in my life I never played MK9. I can't say.
He was boring in that game too, I think.
In MK9?
Yeah.
I think I'm like the youngest here. I'm only fucking 16.
What?
Yeah, he might be.
Are you kidding me? Are you really just 16?
Yeah, I'm dead ass. I'm about to turn 17 February 3rd.
Holy crap.
Damn.
I feel like an old
We're gonna
man.
have a special stream first.
Damn.
Let FTC the third junior
For
then.
real.
Oh my.
If he's not gonna be streaming.
Yeah,
Oh,
be
bro,
like,
so you probably don't even remember Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark and all that.
Oh, excuse me. I watched the Goosebumps shit, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, that's good, that's good.
No, he watched Goosebumps the movie. That's what he's trying to say.
Actually, no.
Oh,
Dude,
come
I
on
fucking-
now. Come
Dude,
on.
I hated the movie. The movie was so bad to me. I mean, Jack Black was a good actor, but you know, I did like the old ones, like with the Mask and the Living Dummy. What was another one? There was this one where they fucking it was like this. I can't explain it. It was pig shit. Some pig shit. Fuck. What was the episode called?
Big shit.
No, because the people had like
That's
fucking pig masks. It was like it was something like you'd see in the Twilight Zone though.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's kind of what the Goosebumps kind of vibe always wanted to do. It was kind of like the alternate version of the Twilight Zone, kind of.
Yeah, the Twilight Zone was a shit, dog.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry, I may be young, you know.
There you go. You're an old man at heart. That's cool.
That boy cultured.
That boy cultured.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that damn boy culture, man. Dang old 16 years old, man. Damn Goosebumps, man.
Excuse me, Mr. Knack Giants, could you mail me just like 2 items from Canada, please?
Yeah, what are you
I
looking
need
for?
some Canadian bacon and some syrup, please.
Oh my gosh.
I can actually make that happen. Let's do it.
There you go.
You know? My actually random fact about me, but my partner works at a bacon processing plant. So
No
Your
shit.
significant other
I've
partner?
got yeah. So pardon?
You said your significant other partner? Like, that's what you mean?
Yeah, like my girlfriend works at a bacon processing plant, so I've got access to a lot of bacon. Is what I'm trying to say.
Do you like bacon?
I do like bacon.
There you go.
Shout out to
Hell yeah.
Canadian
Sausage
bacon.
is better than bacon. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Don't Canadians consider bacon to be like Canadian bacon is like, isn't it like ham?
Ham. Yeah. It's like chopped ham. It's just it's I don't know. It's different in a way.
Yeah, yeah. There is like really kind of thick forms of bacon.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not really a bacon expert, to be honest with you. I kind of treat it as like the candy of meat, where it's like every once in a while it's good, you know. But
There you go.
yeah,
Not the greatest. I mean, it's good, but you know.
yeah.
Can't have too much of it or you're gonna get fat.
The
high
number one
cholesterol.
the number one bacon podcast on
Right.
on the internet. Yeah, MK and bacon.
Yes, MK and bacon.
That's right.
Alright, that sounds like we should wrap it up, and I'll make a cough here in a bit. Unshaven, LBD, thank you guys. Exit, thank you, and Schluddy. And of
Of
course,
course, I
Sid.
was last.
Yeah, of course, why wouldn't you be? Pussy.
Yeah, shut up. You want to fight right now? We can really fight.
I do.
Yeah,
Since you're the villain.
first it's in right now. Money
my
match, $5,000, and put your house on the line.
Yes. Yeah, I don't even have a house, but okay, yeah.
Well, the house you're about to buy in 10 years, put that on the line too.
You're right, yeah. Put the pink slips on.
Yeah, that kid that you're about to have in like 6 more years. Yeah, give me that one too.
Your firstborn on the line.
You're right.
Yeah, Jamal, let me have him.
He's my second born.
Yeah, that shoe that you own on your right foot right now, and you're not wearing one on the left. I want that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
But
I'm in your house. Boy.
that wraps up our podcast for the night. Appreciate
ass is
everyone that
banned.
came through. Yes, get that ass banned.
That's it.
Much love, and we'll see you guys. Fuck it, I guess I'll just live stream the cough, so I'll see you guys in a bit.
For sure.
And we are